How many of you guys are looking forward to Project BBQ? And yes, I say Project BBQ instead of Project Barbecue. I know a lot of you guys leave comments saying, why don't you say Project Barbecue? And I don't know, it just seems quicker to say Project BBQ than it does to say Project Barbecue. That's just me. That's a little thing that I do. You guys gotta learn to live with it because I'm gonna keep doing it until Project BBQ gets an actual name. So, how many, wait, no, I already asked that question. Project BBQ. We are all eagerly anticipating this game. This game looks absolutely amazing. It is supposed to be a completely open world anime MMORPG with what is perhaps the best action combat I have ever seen in an anime MMORPG to date. And this is set within the Dungeon Fighter Online world. It has various different characters from Dungeon Fighter Online. And you know what? Today we're actually here to discuss Project BBQ. We're here to discuss Dungeon Fighter Online. And we're also here, the main purpose of this video is to discuss a third game in the franchise, and that is called Dungeon Fighter Overkill. Now, Project BBQ is something that we're waiting on. Dungeon Fighter Online is something that we can play right now, but this game right here is currently in development. It is going to be a quote-unquote PC-based 3D side-scrolling action RPG virtual world. That is a lot of very descriptive terms. But before we go any further, let's go ahead here and look at the trailer. The trailer for it might help alleviate some of the questions that we have with the game. Like, just first and foremost, let me tell you, if those are in-game graphics, then that looks incredible. But then, you know, do note that trailers are often very misleading. But at the same time, I feel like these could very well be actual in-game graphics. I do not see a note anywhere on the screen though saying actual in-game footage. So I noticed various different heroes on screen right now. I guarantee you some of you guys are gonna know who these characters are. I have not played the Dungeon Fighter Online games nearly enough to know who these people are. I know who some of the heroes are, but that's about it. These graphics look great though. I'm assuming those are in fact in-game graphics. And that is it, I think, for the official teaser video. Now, Dungeon Fighter Online is a horizontal side-scrolling action MMO. It utilizes various different types of hubs, so it's essentially a hub MMO, but it offers more than your traditional hub MMO does. Now, Project BBQ, this is a game that is very, very different, contrastingly different to Dungeon Fighter Online. It is a complete three-dimensional MMO. You can move horizontally, vertically, you can jump, roll, dodge, parry. It features entirely action combat, which means that you can hack, you can slash, you can stab, you can cast your abilities, and it actually requires aim to successfully hit a target. But this game is going to be a side-scrolling, but also not necessarily two-dimensional like Dungeon Fighter. It's going to be a three-dimensional side-scrolling action game. So it's essentially taking Dungeon Fighter Online to an entirely new level. This is going to be a PC exclusive game, much like Dungeon Fighter Online, much like Project BBQ. None of these are built for mobile devices at all, so a lot of you guys can rest easy there. This game is being built entirely on Unreal Engine 4, much like Project BBQ is, and that is very evident in the aesthetic look and feel of the game. Unfortunately, I do not think that there was anything that was released within that trailer necessarily that would give us an idea of what we can expect in terms of gameplay. I know that Dungeon Fighter features some amazing combat. I know that Project BBQ looks like it's going to have better action combat than any other anime game out there, but I do not know what kind of combat this is going to use. I know it's going to be a form of action combat. I'm assuming it's going to be incredibly flashy because Dungeon Fighter and Project BBQ are both exceptionally over the top in terms of what they present their players. And honestly, I am genuinely excited to see where this goes, because this is going to be a 3D side-scrolling action RPG virtual world, which means there are going to be a lot of players playing it as well. It does not list itself necessarily as an MMO here. It also doesn't even list that it's going to be online, but it does list that it is going to be an entire virtual world for you to play in. So I guess as we get closer to this game ultimately releasing, we're going to get a larger idea of the kind of game this is. Until then, all we have is this very short teaser for the game, and if it's anything like Project BBQ, it is going to be a year, maybe 2 years before we get anything new pertaining to this game. But you know what? I'm still excited. I'm excited for anything in the Dungeon Fighter universe because I genuinely like that game. Anyway, guys, that is everything I wanted to talk to with regards to Dungeon Fighter Online, with regards to Project BBQ and Dungeon Fighter Overkill. Let me know down in the comment section below if you are still eagerly anticipating Project BBQ, if you hate the fact that I constantly call it Project BBQ as opposed to Project Barbecue, and if you are also looking forward to the new Overkill spinoff. And let's talk about it. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all hard work's gonna be worth it. Ooh.